Something about watching episodes of Pop the Hood just calms me down.
Welcome to my interview series, Pop the Hood. In each episode, I'll be introducing you to a fellow car enthusiast so you can learn all about them and their ride.
Hey,
What's up, Gabriel?
what's going on, Kyle? How you doing, man?
All right, man, let's see this. On this episode of Pop the Hood, we've got my friend Gabriel, Fast and the Furious Integra on Instagram, The Furious Garage on YouTube, and we're gonna check out his MK3 Fast and the Furious Jetta. All right, so we're gonna check out the outside of the car from top to bottom, working our way around. Gabriel, what are we looking at here?
So, this is Jesse's Jetta, and there's a lot of differences with this vehicle than a US model. This is a European front end. The radiator supports European to fit the Gulf grille and the Vento headlights. Overseas, the Jetta is called the Vento. So, headlights are different. Grille is different. Grille spoiler. This is a factory USDM bumper. The lower lip is from Wings West.
Okay.
And you have the CATZ fog lights, CATZ. That was a big company in the 90s and 2000s, no longer in business.
Okay, and so this wasn't exactly a replica build of the movie car per se, as much as the original hero car built by Scott Centra.
Yeah, exactly. Scotty's car, Scott Centra, his vehicle was built way before the film. It was a purpose-built SEMA car. So when the film reached out to him and wanted to use his car, they made some changes, and then after the film, he made his own changes back. So what this is a post-filming hero car version, a one-to-one replica of Scotty's car.
Yeah, so you're not going to see everything exactly like you saw it on screen. Don't go commenting, oh, that wasn't in the movie, because exactly what he said.
If you were to Google search Jesse's Jetta, almost every image is going to come up like this version than the stunt car version. So this is my favorite version. It's got a lot of eye candy, a lot of differences than the stunt cars, so we prefer it this way.
So let's work our way around the side.
Yes.
So fenders and wheels.
So your fenders are factory, but we had to cut holes here for the Euro side marker lamps.
Okay.
These are side skirts, fender flares. These were not actually in the film. This is one of those post-filming hero car things that was added or taken off, then added back on. You have Koenig wheels, out of production. Everything on this car is pretty much out of production. Building Jesse's Jetta is not easy.
Yeah, especially finding calipers. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so we were like, we have to stop. We have to have brakes.
We do.
Yeah, so we put brakes on it.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, after race wars, I mean,
yep.
Yeah, you got to be able to stop. Otherwise, you'll never get back from the car wash and give Johnny Tran his car.
Go fetch my car.
Go fetch his car.
So we have the Wings West side skirts. These graphics are from Modern Image. They're still in business. These are OG, completely from them. These are not the eBay graphics. These are 100% movie accurate from the same company that did the graphics 25 years ago for all the cars.
Okay, and so most of your mods for this car, you went back to whoever did it in the movie.
100%.
Yeah.
We tried to work with vendors that had their hands on the car back then. We even drove the car to California to have a lot of this stuff done. I live in Florida, by the way. We live in Florida.
Yeah.
So we have driven this car across the U.S. Just to get it to be as accurate as possible and working with vendors that worked on the car back in the day. These stupid mirrors, these are made by a company called Haggis. You cannot find them. 2.5 years in the making to find these mirrors.
Wow.
And that's just the love and attention that we put into the car.
Wow. All right, so let's work our way back a little bit.
Sure.
All right, so we've gone over the graphics, the side skirts, the wheels. Let's go. What's up with the wing here?
Wings West wing. So Scotty worked for Wings West back in the day. So I think that they sponsored his car, and that's why he chose Wings West. But Wings West wing, Wings West lower lip, Sebring exhaust.
Okay.
Yep. Sounds pretty nice, for what it is. Jesse's Jetta does not have a whole lot of power, but it sounds nice.
Yeah. Well, for those that don't know, Wings West in the 90s were one of the it companies for Aero, so it is a very period correct build.
Yeah. Wings West made some of the best body kits back in the day. Like the fitment was really good, unlike VIS and other companies like that. So.
All right, we're gonna take a look under the hood.
So what we have here is a Volkswagen 2-liter. I'm sure a lot of people might be asking, why didn't you guys do a VR6? Simple question, or simple answer is this. The movie cars had a 2.0 and that's what we wanted to go with.
All right, we're gonna take a look inside. So the very first thing I noticed in this are these awesome signatures we got here.
Yeah, we have some really great signatures from actors and others that had to do with the film. Starting from left to right, we have Scott Sentra, the original owner of the Hero car. Beside that, we have Robert from Modern Image. Above that, we have Revo from Stitchcraft. We have Hector from the film. We have Cody Walker. And then Mr. Craig Lieberman, technical director and original owner of the Supra, the Maxima, and the Too Fast, Too Furious Skyline.
All right, working our way over here. Looks like we got some autometer gauges.
Autometer Carbon Series, NOS, and oil pressure. 100% movie accurate with the gauge pod.
All right, and we've got the Sparco steering wheel here.
Sparco steering wheel. This is very, very rare and hard to find. Red Alcantara, suede. We have NOS buttons because we never know when we're going to run into Johnny Tran, and we are absolutely prepared.
Yes, sir. He's got $100,000 under the hood of that car.
If not more.
If not more.
Yeah.
All right.
Right here we have the Ignited push button switch. Ignited was a company that was kind of ahead of their game. A lot of new vehicles already come factory with push button start. This was a company that you could add it on and put it with your vehicle.
Yeah, a little bit before its time.
Yeah. Down below we have the Razzo pedals. Those are 100% movie accurate as well. We were able to acquire those.
All right, coming here. Looks like we got a shift knob, but this car's a manual and that's got a little button on it. Talk about that here.
Exactly. So what we did is we retrofitted an automatic shift knob that the Hero car had to our manual application. And again, one of those just movie accurate things that we had to do. Car is a manual, not an automatic, but we made the shifter work.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. And then this one, we'll have to explain this to our younger audience. In the early 80s and early 90s, before cell phones were all in our pockets, there were car phones, and this is a corded car phone.
Correct. This is not movie accurate, but accurate to the actual Hero car. It's an AudioVox cell phone. And understand this car was created well before the Fast and the Furious ever came out. It was a purpose-built show car, SEMA car, so it was built in the mid-90s. And yes, pagers and car phones were a thing, people. It was like $25 a minute. And no free nights and weekends on that one.
Wild. All right, so I also noticed we got some roll-up windows.
Correct. We chose a model of Jetta that actually had manual windows. I would have much rather have had the power windows, but the Hero car had roll-up windows, and that's what we went with.
All right, and some amazing stitch work from Stitchcraft.
Stitchcraft. This is the first Jetta that he has ever done front to back, top to bottom on the interior in 25 plus years. So we're very blessed to have him do it. He's still in business and he knocked it out of the park. I mean, 100%. So everything you see is exactly the way that the Hero car was.
So Gabriel and I actually flew out to California, met over there, and went to go pick up the car from Stitchcraft, from Revo. And what Revo was doing, aside from these door panels, was this amazing back seat where the Sparco rear seats are actually molded in. Now, I'm gonna pan over here so you can hear Gabriel tell you a little more.
Yeah, so this is the first rear seat he's ever done, and since the movie car. We had probably hours and hours of researching and looking at videos because he doesn't have a jig or a template. This was done freehand. And once we got all the images, put them together, he made like 2 or 3 attempts to make this seat, and his last attempt was spot on. They're made to look like free-floating buckets like the front. So I have not yet sat in them, but these are 100% accurate to the way that the Hero car was. Right here is the roll bar. This is done by AutoPower. AutoPower was the company that did the roll bar for the Hero car. They're still in business. They don't make this anymore, but they still have the dimensions, and we reached out to them and they made us the same exact one with all the bars for this vehicle here. And then we had a powder coated red, just like the Hero car.
All right, I'm gonna pan around here just so you guys can see the back seat, see what we're working with. Video doesn't really do justice how nice a job he did on these seats. Like, the molding is perfect. It looks like this came from the factory like that. Revo, you killed it. Here's that bar we're talking about. I don't think, wait, nobody sat in this back seat yet, right?
Nobody sat in the back seat yet. I might make an attempt to wiggle my way in there just to kind of see how comfy they are. But essentially now with the rear seat and the roll bar, we have a 2-seater Jetta. You're not fitting anybody back there. It's too dangerous, but I love it either way. It is what it is.
Excellent.
The rear door panels, again, done just the way that he did. The red stitching, all the designs. Here you have suede kind of felt material just like he did the Hero car. We have the Alpine audio in the little areas, little nooks and crannies. And yeah, it came out really, really good.
Excellent. All right. So thank you so much for showing us the inside. And now is your chance to give some thank yous, man. Who helped you along with this build?
Man, there's so many people that helped us with this build. I'm going to try to remember everybody. First and foremost, my wife for dealing with my crazy car fetish. For you guys that don't know, this is our only replica that we have in the collection. I own many of the actual screen use cars that you guys saw from Fast 1 all the way up to Fast 10. But Furious Garage, Derek, my personal friend and mechanic, he has hours of wrench time in this thing. This is a 4.5-year build from beginning to end, and we're still not 100% done yet. I'd like to thank Stitchcraft, Revo for even attempting something that he didn't really want to do. Again, 25 years, he's never done one, so happy that he did that. All the actors and the people that had something to do with it, people giving us advice. There's a lot of replica builders overseas that take this very, very seriously, that helped us with like the little intricate stuff, placement of this, placement of that. Just very nice people to kind of give us that information to make this as accurate as we possibly can. And Kyle, I'd like to thank you for having me out, road tripping with me. You and I went down Pacific Coast Highway, Neptune's Net, Toretto House, Bob's Market. We had a blast in this car. I'm sure we'll have many more fun times in it as well.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your car with us, man. We will have a little more insight to his collection, but this is going to be the first shot, man. This is the Jetta, and we'll work our way through as many of his toys that he has time to share with us. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, sir. Where did Gabriel go? What? Gabriel, how did you get in there, man?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like I'm strapped into a death roller coaster right now.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
I will say this, the rear seats, pretty damn comfortable. Good job, Revo.
You saw it first. This is actually the very first time anyone has sat in the back seat. And
anytime. And I'm afraid that we might have to call the fire department to get you out.
Yeah, I think so, maybe. Let's get the jaws of life. Thanks for being a good sport, man.
We're gonna need probably a 12 millimeter and a 14 millimeter.
Yeah, well, or we'll just leave you in here.
Hey!
What's up, everybody? So we are here at the Furious Garage. The segments that you saw previously were Gabriel visiting me in Miami, and now I came to visit him. Now, the Jesse car is a replica, and it is the most screen accurate, movie screen accurate build known in existence. Am I correct?
That is correct. There's a lot of great ones out there, but yeah, I would call this probably the best.
Okay. Now, Monica, that was your first car. Monica was the Momo Ja Rule Integra from the first movie. That was the first car that you acquired in your collection, right?
Yeah, hence the name Fast and Furious Integra on Instagram. So yeah, it started out with just one movie car and one name.
Okay, so Fast and the Furious Integra on Instagram, but the Furious Garage on YouTube. Now, that being said, do you have a favorite fast car from the franchise?
Wow, that's a tough question. They all mean a lot to me, but I would say my favorite one is the next one that I'm always chasing. You can never stop. When you start getting 1, 2, 5, 6, you're always trying to grab more and more. So I would say that the next one that we find is my favorite, and then so on and so forth.
And where are we number-wise in the collection?
13 screen used cars, it's the largest collection of Fast 1 you're going to find. And now we're evolving into second film, fourth film, and then we just picked up something from the 10th film, believe it or not, and it's on the way in July.
Okay, so that'll come as a surprise soon. All right, so do you have a bucket list fast car that you don't own yet?
And this one's not by value or anything like that. It's Hector's Civic. It's one of one in the film. It had very minimal screen time, but anytime you can grab a one of one, because in the movie industry, they build like 5 or 6 of a specific vehicle. Hero car, Hero 1, Stunt 1, Stunt 2, Stunt 3. But Hector's Civic was so modified, it is one of one. And we are actively trying to make a deal on that and have been for the last 3 years. So that one, we're really trying to get in the collection. So now that's like my favorite. Got to have it. So
speaking of Hector, Hector signed his wall. Hector and Gabriel are friends. And he's come and hung out with him several times, signed a few of his cars.
And he sat in that seat that you're sitting in right now.
Seat.
Yeah.
So that is definitely one of the real bucket list cars, being that it would be the one of one. Also, I heard from watching a previous Craig Lieberman video that the reason it had so little screen time was because it was so highly modified that it didn't want to overshadow the hero cars.
Yeah, that makes sense. It was for people that don't know, that was probably the most modified car of the film, even more so than Craig Lieberman's Supra. Just between the Veilside body kit, the wide body, the bowling ball paint job, ITBs in the engine, just the way the hood was done with tempered glass. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, but that's a whole different segment.
Well, I mean, he was going to do the Naira circuit next. So
yeah,
that's probably where it went. Okay, so favorite motor. Do you have a favorite motor?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Are we talking Japanese or American or just anything?
Sky's the limit. Favorite motor.
Sky's the limit. Damn it, I'm going LS. Sorry, guys.
All right, video's over. We're done, guys. Thanks for stopping by.
LS engines are just an engineering marvel. You can put them in anything.
Bang for the buck V8, NA power.
Yeah, NA power, boost them, do whatever you want to do. The engines can just take so much.
And being in the U.S. where we are.
And they're abundant.
Yeah.
You can pull them out of vans, trucks.
Yeah. Go to Advanced Auto Parts, go to O'Reilly, go to anywhere and get parts for it too.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason they're so famous. They're reliable power on relatively cheap in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, bang for buck, like you said, it's a very economical build.
Okay, so here's your next one.
Yeah.
Favorite wheel.
Oh man, favorite wheel.
It's a tough one.
Okay. I'm going to give you 2 favorite wheels, okay? My favorite street wheel, TE37. You can put the damn thing on a riding lawnmower, and a riding lawnmower would look cool with TE37s.
The amount of times I've heard TE37 is that answer.
I know. I wish I could be a bit more creative, but I just love the TE37. Now, Fast and Furious wheel that I love and still like on other vehicles is the Veilside Andrew F. That was on the RX-7, if you guys don't know. The little daggers, that wheel is really cool.
I would agree. In the Fast franchise series, I would also agree. Vin Diesel's red FD from the first movie, those wheels, you don't see those wheels. I think that's just the only thing I'd hate to clean them.
Yeah. And for you guys that don't know, that wheel was nearly $10,000 in the year 2000. That is silly money. I mean, silly money.
Yeah.
So...
Good choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have a favorite car brand?
Car brand, this goes back to my Gran Turismo days, and I'm going to say Nissan.
All right.
The R34 taillights are burned in my brain because, that was the car to use. And I think Nissan has a lot of great different models, 240SX and everything else. I just think 90s Nissan, they were just on top of their game. I love Toyota, don't get me wrong, and other brands, but Nissan, I think, is it.
Okay, and I think he's just redeemed himself for that LS comment with the Nissan.
Well, that was my follow-up, was LS in a Nissan.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Okay, fair.
Sacrilege.
Not bad.
Sacrilege, no.
So, all right, now I get to bust his chops. How much longer do we have to wait for Letty to be finished?
Okay, for you guys at home, Letty's build has been going on for 3 years. Kyle's been busting my chops about it, and for good reason. But in the last 3 years, we've been hunting Fast and Furious cars. So we have been hitting the VIN list and chasing this, chasing that. So every time we would do that, we would kind of put Letty to the side. But I'm hoping by the end of this year, which is 2025 that we're in right now, I'm hoping that Letty will be running and driving and maybe just some minor things to finish up, but like right there.
Okay, cool.
So.
And for those that are not familiar with Letty's actual color, because this was also something, the movie put a lot of, I think, was filters on it, right?
Yeah, warming filters.
Yeah, so the color of Letty's car, when you actually see it, is a much deeper metallic purple than what you see on screen.
It almost looks like a maroonish purple color, and a lot of people think it's one of the factory colors that they had in '95, which was a maroon, but it's not. Come to find out, Letty's car, without the warming filters, is purple, and an amazing purple. And how we know this is we started to wet sand the orange paint away because it was in the second film. But to make a long story short, we were able to get her original paint, and then we had it analyzed and remade, and it's purple, but it's so stunningly beautiful. You can attest to that.
Yes, and Letty's car is the tie-in of how Gabriel and I know each other. Gabriel acquired the orange and blue S chassis that were used as secondary cars in the second movie, but were also carryovers of Fast 1 cars. The orange one being the Race Wars Letty, which I can verify 100% because I was at the Too Fast auction and I sat in it when it was still orange, and it had the nitrous buttons on the airbag. So when Gabriel acquired this car, I ended up getting tagged on a Instagram reel or something like that.
Just a random tag, yeah. I was like, who's in the 240 land? Let me hit this guy right here.
Yeah. So I get a message that you were tagged on this video, and I said, oh, wow, Letty popped up. And I sent a DM to Gabriel here, and I said, hey, did you tag me because you knew I had history with this car? And he said, no, I was just, I was just tagging local South Florida related 240 accounts, and you popped up. And I said, yeah, well, I have history with this. And we started talking back and forth, and I showed him pictures of when I was at the auction, with the orange one, with the blue one. I told him that we had a mutual friend in Craig Lieberman, as he had let me on set during the filming of the second movie, which is also really cool. So yeah, it's
you have a lot of history with those cars. You were able to show me images. You even had the auction sheet of every car that went through, and a picture of you standing in front of the vehicles. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. You can't script this.
No, and to be able to reunite with the cars all this time, and about 50 feet away is the trunk, and the trunk still has a little bit of orange on it, and just the nostalgia of, wow, man, I stood next to this car, and now I'm reunited with it, and now I get to bust Gabriel's chops to finish it.
and you get to come visit the garage anytime you want and check out the cars. So yeah, for sure.
All right, so to wrap it up, I got one more question for you, sir.
Yeah.
What's something you wish more people knew about you or your collection?
I would say the collection itself. Like, if you're nostalgic to the Fast and Furious, love it or hate it, whether you liked one actor, one car, one scene, one film. We have a lot of the first film cars, a lot of that Paul Walker drove and stuff like that. But I would say the four-way street race is very special to me, and that was a bucket list. And we were able to get these four cars put back together. And this is the only collection in the world to feature the four-way street race, the Integra, the Eclipse, the RX-7, and the white Honda Civic. So for me, being a fanboy, and other people out there in Fast and Furious land, that was a big deal. It really is. So we're trying to get that out there.
Awesome. And as a little bonus, I got to drive Paul's Red Lightning. You did. We... Oh yeah. Last time, it was like 3 years ago, I think, when you were here. Yeah, we went driving it around, and I think I had to go visit somebody in the hospital at the time, and I said just drive it around or whatever, and you parked it. I mean, I didn't drive it far, but I sat in that seat and I drove it. So
yeah, and we went to Ford's garage and did some
that
photos.
Was cool. Yeah, to take the Lightning to Ford's garage. That was really cool. I posted that on my Instagram. If you want to scroll through and find that. But
and we have two Lightnings, by the way. The film was loaned two Lightnings, and we found one right away, and the other one took us about 4 years to find. And so now we have the two Lightnings used in the film right here in this garage.
Excellent. Super cool. Well, this is hopefully going to be the first of several as we'll move our way through his collection as he completes them. So thanks for watching the Jetta one. This was super cool, man. Thanks for having me at the Furious Garage.
Yeah, anytime, man.
Hell yeah. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for daily content. Follow me on Instagram at SFL240SX. I'll see you in the next video.